we start out with the masculines, interestingly enough, we have 3 feminine cards. So the first of the masculine cards that are in the feminine energy is beauty. Okay, so beauty again here, that could be, could go a myriad of ways. We could be focusing on beauty. We could be focusing on our own beauty within our own self, or looking at the beauty of others. This is what I'm getting from here. Yeah, I'm not getting much there. So the next card we have is purpose. Yeah, wondering what our purpose is here. I feel like the beauty is outside of us. I feel like we're either in admiration of someone or we're looking to gain the beauty that we, you know, like there's, I'm jumping in the masculine suit here, and I'm feeling like I want this beauty. I want that beside me. I want to be looked at as beautiful. I want to have something beautiful beside me. This is what I'm getting. Now, I feel like in and amongst this, we're trying to figure out what our purpose is in and amongst this beauty, which is interesting. Because why should it be any different than without it? But nonetheless, beauty is, it's almost like beauty is the focus here. So there may be some masculines here simply trying to attain a beautiful partner. Okay? I'm getting a simplified version here. So the next card that we get is irresistibility. Okay, we may have someone in our field here that is irresistible to us. We find them beautiful. Either we're trying to anchor to them in a purposeful kind of way, or we're trying to figure out a purpose within this. I do feel like it's very much a masculine energy seeking outward beauty, and there's a sense of something irresistible happening. Because the purpose, I feel, is kind of conflicted. I feel it's kind of confused. I feel like we're looking for our purpose, but we're also looking for this beauty outside of us. So that's all I can get right there. I'm going to move on to the next series of cards. So as we get into the Psychic Tarot, to expand on the beauty. What do we get there? Authority. Uh-oh. So what we want to do is we want a beauty that we can control or take authority over. Good luck with that. Or for some masculines, we've had this. We've had a beauty take authority over us. And we are learning to deal with that, or we are coming to terms with that in some kind of way, shape, or form. That could be in an empowerment way, or it could be in a de-empowerment way. What's the matter, Ruger? Authority. Yeah, I'm getting a very astute energy here. Not sure how that sits, but I get it can be of both ways. It can be a beauty that has taken authority over us. And there's a neutrality there, meaning we've allowed this. Or we are trying to overtake someone else in this manner. And I'm not getting any energy on the other end for that. I'm just getting a very, this is what I want to attain, but I don't know that we've attained it, okay? As we get on to the purpose card, the psychic card we get there is financial and material changes. So, for some, we've taken power and authority over someone, and it has created a financial change and material change in our life. This could be for the good or for the bad. And I feel like it's intrinsically linked to the goodness or badness of where you're coming from. So if you're trying to utilize someone for money and worth and whatever, we're going to quickly lose that. If we gain it, we're going to quickly lose it. No matter how long it took to gain that, we could lose it in an instant kind of thing. And vice versa, right? Because, I mean, this happens to men as much as women. Like marrying for money is what I'm getting here, these kind of things. So if that is the case, and at this time, things like that will not have any stability, really. They will crumble around us, where we have no choice but to. So if a masculine is in an energy of wanting to take authority over someone for material reasons, this whole framework will collapse. There's just nothing that can be attached to that. Now, if it's a feminine energy wanting to attach to a masculine in the same form for material wealth or whatnot, this will be exposed for all its worth, meaning it will be exposed. Like, nobody will be in illusion here of what is going on. Okay. Wow. No wonder the purpose is in confusion, because if I get this masculine energy, if someone's marrying us for money and we were in delusion of this, the sense that I'm getting is we may have had to lose a lot of finances before we totally understood that this one person, whoever it is, the partner or business partner even, we had to lose a lot of money before we truly realized that this person was playing us. This is what I'm getting. And vice versa, no matter what side. There was heavy financial changes in order for us to see that, you know, and the line, it's a direct line. You got one person here taking advantage of this money and not in a smart way, and blah, blah, blah. It's all adding up. Okay, on top of the irresponsibility, what do we get there? Mental conflict, yes, right? Because you're going to be in conflict if someone's schmoozing you up on one end and then spending all your money on the other. There's going to be conflict because they're trying to convince you of what they're doing. You know, they're trying to convince you that they're not doing what they're doing. So, of course, there's going to be mental conflict. And it may have taken us a while to understand this to a high degree. We didn't understand, you know, because they had us snowed. Maybe not snowed, but they just, you know, we don't want to believe that someone would lie to our face in that way and do that. But it's, yeah, it's hard to hear, but it could save us if we understand that this person's not for our highest good, this kind of thing. So manipulation tactics, whatnot, having to do with the material realm here, and it creates conflict because everything else about them is trying to say one thing, but the material, the funds are just going out the window. So we gotta, you know, something's got to happen here, or may have happened already, I'm not sure. As we go to the next row here, bringing out the darker energy, shadow parts. On the authority, we get the Six of Pentacles talking about resolution. Okay, so we started with beauty, and then we went to authority, and we've now got a resolution. We may have, with this figure that highly changed our material realm here, we may have come to some kind of resolution with this person. The sense that I'm getting to is like if it was a marriage or something and we had a separation and, you know, finances have been distributed kind of things. This is what I'm getting. Resolution, it's, you know, it's done with, justice has been served kind of deal. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that and we'll go on here. This one's pretty on the earth, grounded. So again, we're thinking about our purpose. The masculine energy is they may have, I don't know if they took in this partner knowing, or being in confusion of their purpose, or after they took in this partner, they are confused of where they should go. Because the sense is if it came after, it may be the fault of that person trying to change us in some kind of way that we got to realize we do or do not agree with, kind of thing. It's hard to express what I'm getting. Oh my God. Financial and material changes. On top of that, we get the Eight of Pentacles. Talking about responsibility, we have a Virgo symbol here at the grounded root. And again, I was feeling very grounded with this. So someone here is very practical to the degree they really may not have taken their instinct into account here, or they just don't tap into that field. And because of this, we had some kind of financial collapse, or the ability to disrupt the financial area quite highly, to a degree that we don't know what to do here about it. But the Eight of Pentacles really says we're going to take responsibility for all that has happened here. And it may be financial responsibility, right? And because of this, we got to work harder and do things differently and whatnot. And the purpose, I feel like a trajectory has been broken. I feel like we were planning to go this direction and it just broke. And for whatever reason now, we got to replan. And it has to do with the finances. So we're taking responsibility for finances. And it may have taken a big chunk out that we didn't, what do you call that? Plan for. But this is how it's going. And again, we had a lot of mental conflict here. So it really wasn't in our field at all. It hit us from the side kind of sense is what I'm getting. Like we didn't expect any of this to happen. So on top of the mental conflict, we have the art card. 14. That would be like the temperance. Yeah, heaven and earth, right? Fire and air. Give me a minute. Because there's this card and the mental conflict card are kind of interesting how they mesh. Because there's fire element and then the air element. Because mental is air, right? When you got the swords coming in, that's your thought processes. That's how you think. Are you in balance? I feel like this person hasn't been in balance for a while. I don't know if it's due to this one person who has taken them financially, or because that's the sense I'm kind of getting, is not only did they create financial havoc for us, but they created havoc in every field for us, like our mental field, our emotional field, like they created chaos for us. There's like this one person, if we can just set that aside for a moment, make our own decisions, suddenly we wouldn't have any problem. It's this person that has problems with everything that we do. This is what I'm getting here. This is why we're conflicted. This one person. But for whatever reason, we may have been married, we may have had children, we may have had some kind of lineage with this person, but this is the problem here. This person doesn't allow us, or we do not allow, they're under our thumbs somehow, or we are under theirs, that kind of thing. There's an authority here. And I feel like it's at a tipping point. I feel like whoever's been taken authority over is at a pause point, and they're going to start fighting back, or yeah, really, that's what I feel. There's a certain person here that is realizing there's someone pivotal in their life that has actually dragged them down, but they're not really wanting to see that. So they're conflicted because they either want that person to be a part of their lives, but the real thing is that as long as this person is a part of your life, you will not see clearly, because they work their hardest to achieve that for you, to achieve chaos for you, to achieve mental conflict. It's their unconscious goal. They do this, and it's conscious to a degree is what they're saying. It is conscious to a degree, but it's also a lot of unconscious as well. It just creates it out of chaos. This person is a chaos making machine by the sounds of it. Oh, give me a moment here. There's some kind of resolution that's been made, and somebody is either taking their authority back or beginning to assert their authority over someone. Okay? So because of this, I'm taking responsibility for the financial life at this point and moving forward. Someone is in conflict about this. Okay, let's just keep moving it. As we get into the pagan tarot cards here. On top of the resolution, again, somebody's taking their authority back and they've resolved a situation. They're going to move forward. On top of that, we get the Novice of Swords. talking about reasoning abilities, right? So we're learning how to reason here with things. So this person has created, how do you say, a teaching path in order for us to learn how to reason in life, with them, right? These are giving us reasoning skills, is the sense. They're going from above. This situation has given us reasoning skills, okay, that we may not have had before. Okay, now as we go forward here onto the responsibility and material changes, again, our purpose is in question. So either we're going forward in someone else's purpose, letting them guide us without our full passion involved, or we are confused about our purpose with this person in tow or without. We're just confused. But we're taking responsibility financially at this time, and that's only going to help us as we move forward. So on top of that, we get the Five of Swords, talking about defense and alliance. Okay, here we go with that energy. Do I fight? Is this my enemy or is this my friend? And the sense that I'm getting is that we realize the answer to this. And for some, it is no friend. It is someone who keeps us in loops of defending ourselves. They are not in alliance with us. No, just give me a minute here. Something about this financial thing, man. They're just funneling all the finances goes to one person, and they controlled it that way, and that's the way it goes. Like you can't take any of that free stuff. It all goes to me first, and then you get what's left over. This kind of thing, or there's something about that. The money, the way money rolls here. And right down the middle is the defense and alliance. And if you look at this picture, it's like black and white. Where's the balance? Which way do I go? Do I go forward that way or this way? You know, the swords, they're both up. Everything's a mirror. But again, somebody's taking financial responsibility for themselves. That's a good thing. They're in mental conflict. That's a bad thing. As we move forward onto the temperance energy here of the art card, what do we get? The Lover's card, alternatives to what we know and where we're going. Okay. In the sense they're giving me here, if you look at this card, the woman's looking at the whole crowd going into the darkness, and then she's kind of, should I be going on the less trodden path? This kind of thing. Like there's a child and an adult or going on the path, and it's like the path of light and the path of dark. Because the bottom roads, they're all going in darkness. There's more going that way. But am I supposed to go there? There's a pause here. And they got a sword. They don't know whether they got to defend themselves, right? If I go down here, I'm going to surely have to defend myself with that sword. Or could I go to the light end and drop the sword and just live in harmony? This is kind of the sense they're giving me here. There's a choice that needs to be made here, and for some reason we're having conflict having to do with it. The sense is the masses are going in one way, and it may not be the right way, right? It may not be the right way. But there's one here. Now, are they coming or going? There's a house, and then a parental figure and a child, and the shadows are in the front, right? And she's kind of at the impasse. Where do I go? And the sense is you can go either way. But the sense too is one way you will have to fight your way through, and the other way, it may be a lonely path, but I don't know, is that the right one or not? A lot of swords here. So there's a lot of mental activity, a lot of, there could be cutting things happening to us, cutting things being said to us. There could be things we're realizing that are very hurtful to us at this time, having to do directly with finances. I feel this is completely surrounded by finances on the masculine side. We are dealing with finances, that's it. And anything outside of that is creating confusion. Why? Because it doesn't add up to the financial area. I'm trying to take authority over this, but we're in confusion because I think we're not letting our emotions lead. which could be a good thing. Am I confusing you yet? But nonetheless, we're taking, I feel like if we had problems financially, we're taking the reins and we're going to solve those financial problems. We're in the midst of that, okay? What our problem is now, we don't know how to go forward. Who's our friend and who's our foe? This is the big problem. Because we've had a high dip in finances on the low end happen from people that we thought was our friend, and now we're burnt by that, okay? And not only that, as we go forward, we're unsure as to where to go. So I feel like the masculine may not be listening to their instinct. They're strictly going, now the beauty card, I'm going to say we're strictly going by our eyes, what we see. And there's a lot that's unseen. There's a lot that's instinctive. I do not feel that is being taken into account here. I feel like they need to, and there's alternatives. And there may be more alternatives than even just the two roads. There may be more. But we're not seeing that because we're not listening to our instinct. We're dealing with finances, bottom of the barrel stuff. Meaning essentials here. That's it. And emotions, we ain't even going there yet. We're still trying to deal with the finances to get that in afloat or wherever we want it to be. Again, some may be taking their authority back. Some may be dominating their authority in order to gain money. This is the dark and the light, right? So, again, not knowing where to go from there. Okay, next row. On top of the reasoning, what do we get there? From the below cards. So, we get the Temperance card. What do you know? And that is balance. Everybody's getting cake, everybody's getting wine, everybody's getting equal portions. So there's a sense here, okay? So if we had a divorce, that's what it went. It went fair. Everybody got their, nobody got more than the other, and everything's settled. It may not be, you know, each person may not be happy because each person may have wanted more than the other. But this is the way it's going down. Like, universally, this is balanced out. And this is cleared. Okay, so that's good. That's the past. I feel like some people, they may have had a divorce, and again, I want to take this one for all, I want to take that one for all, and they can't. They get their equal balance, and that's it, and away you go. And that should be accepted. Okay? Now, down the middle, again, who's my friend, who's my foe? I got to take charge of my finances, and I'm taking responsibility for what happens from here. On top of that, we get the Seven of Swords. Now, this is tricky. Because the Seven of Swords, that's about going through files. What's the details? What? Now, this could be on the good end. This could be us looking up things in order to inspect as we go forward. Who's, right? Doing research on people. Are they going to, you know, have they... nefarious stuff in the past, you know, like you researching someone, a business, anything that you deal with, are they, you know, into bad shit? Can they do me wrong? This kind of thing, doing your research. I get that from this card. I also get that this could also be making contracts with people in the future so that we avoid being stuck in the same position, right? Maybe we didn't make a contract or a business contract that kind of did us wrong. We kind of paid for it in the wrong way. And now in the future, we're not going to do that. We're going to make sure that it's equal. Or if it was equal, we're going to make sure it's in our favor. Okay? So I feel like defense and alliance, that card on the Seven of Swords, again, looking into those that we deal with in the future so that things are more balanced. This is only good. Taking responsibility for actions as we go forward. Okay, as we get into the futurized energy here, again, alternatives. I did feel like if we learn and discern properly and evolve and use our instinct, there may be more than just one or two alternatives here. We may be able to have more roads open to good areas than we perceive at the moment. So on top of that card, the Lover's card, we get 0, the Fool. Yeah, about going in a new direction. I feel like that's a new direction. Not any of the two that was on the Lover's card. I feel like there's two direct, like I can go this way and I can go that way. darker light. And I feel like we're going to kind of go down the middle, and we're going to go in a different way altogether. I feel like that's what's fated. It may not be where we're thinking at this point, but it is where we're headed, no matter what our plan is. Because I feel like the masculine here, they're planning to do something, and the universe is going, well, we got our plan first, and that's, you know. And I don't know if it's lesson based or what the deal is here. I do feel like the masculine is being very articulate and learning the details. Like they're being very, like they don't want to get stopped up like they did in the past. So they're very over going through information to a high degree in order to not get hosed or whatever happened in the past the way they did. And the universe is also going to, like I said, open that door for them. But it's not the door they think they're going down, is what I get. At this point, they think they're going in a certain direction. It ain't going to be that road. So that's a hint there. Okay, now as we get into the Curious Creatures card, let's see what we get on the Temperance. On top of there, we get the Nine of Swords, and that's about stress and anxiety. Again, this was in the past. This is something that we've resolved at this point, but again, it was very stressful. It was very anxiety causing, and it kept us up at night, and we're glad it's over, is the sense I get now. For some, they may be going through this. For some, it is over and done and finished, like I have no more. And for some, you know, it's just the stress point was very high. So as we move on to the Seven of Swords, again, compiling information, don't know who's right or wrong, but we're taking responsibility financially for our life, and you can't go wrong there. On top of that, we get the Five of Cups. Now this is interesting. Give me a moment. A lot of energy. First we got a puffer fish. The puffer fish blows up, and it can prick things when it's in defense mode. Okay? That's the first thing that I'm seeing. But I also get, you know, when you look at it, you see the eyes. It's almost like sad, you know, eyes. Like I'm not harmful. I won't hurt you. But yet I'm seeing these spikes. So either this is something that we dealt with, person like this, that was maybe to our face, very kind and whatever, but behind our back, stabbed us in the back. This could be. The sense, too, they gave me right off the hop was this net. They said caught in a trap, caught in a net, like hung up. We got hung up in something here. And again, not seeing it clearly for what it's worth. No, give me a minute. Because there's more cups not caught in that netting than there are caught. So they're saying there's more worth here in our way forward than going backward, right? We may have had a relationship that destroyed us, but there's better things in the future, this kind of thing. So for some people it was a relationship that destroyed us, and for some people it is us, you know, needing to look again to the future. Going back to the feminine, it's going from darkness. This relationship was dark on us. It had a heavy purpose, and it had a heavy lesson, and now we got to move forward to better things is the sense. Now the Three of Cups is about celebration, and I get little glowing orbs from these cups. Now give me a moment here. See the green dress, it's muted green, but it's heart-centered. Like green is higher heart from my guides. That's what I get from the green when they emphasize that color. So I feel like someone is just starting to learn of the higher heart area. Again, this energy I've reviewed before. The leotards are green, the dress is green, the fish is green, it's all green, but it's not a bright emerald green, it's just beginning to fill out, right? Just beginning to pixelate in here. So it's just starting. But Three Cups, there's enjoyment somewhere in this field, but we may have been so overblown by our past that we can't enjoy our future, because that's what the net we're hanging on to is the past. Okay, I'll let that go. That's in the present line of energy, but it is dealing with the past. And I feel like this is a pivot point where we start to move forward and deal with better, more celebratory things. Okay, so on the Fool card, again, this new direction that you're going to go. And I can almost guarantee for the masculines, if you're resonating in this energy, it's not going to be where you think you're going. But it's going to be for your highest good. Okay. On top of that, wow, Ace of Cups. Okay. It's to new love. But it's not where you think you're going to go. This is what I'm getting. No. Tentacles. I feel like these are the universal energies coming down to put you in a position where you see love clearly. The two swans, right? Made for life. The very strong bond. They're very, strong bond. That's all I can say. And they're very fiercely loyal and defending of each other. So this can be, what this relationship or direction that they put you in with. Now, again, we got to be careful here because we're talking about relationships, but this could also be friendships that come into your life as well. Something that will give you that solidity. Because the sense I'm getting from the masculine side is we don't have a lot of faith in a love partnership. So we may be finding it in a solid friendship or business partnership. Nonetheless, we got to put faith in something somewhere. And it may be a business partnership at this time, but it is highly influenced universally. They're going to show you that person that is worthy of your trust, worthy of your love and attention, whether it's, what do you call that? Whether it's romantical or in business. They're going to be someone that you take to the grave, meaning someone that till you die is going to be in your life. Someone solid. That just you will not want to lose them. They will not want to lose you. It will be eco-balanced. It will be fiercely loyal. They will help you when they can to the highest degree, and you will help them in the same way. You feel motivated to do so. This is just a great, wonderful thing. Okay, so that's that door opening for the masculine. Now, we'll go to the above cards and then give the fortune card. So on the Knight of Swords, again, this is past energy. Dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety. I do feel that we don't really feel the relief yet, but there is a relief because everything that we needed to deal with there has been dealt with. So there's no longer any real ties here other than our grief over the whole situation. There's no ties. So on top of the Nine of Swords, what do we get from the above card? The Crone of Fire. So closing the book, right? Closing the book on all that we've done in that way. All that we've had in that way. We've dealt with it. We've healed. I don't know if we've healed completely, but we're struggling to do so, right? Because that's what I get from the Five of Cups. It's like we're struggling. We're hanging on to that netting, but we realize it's no good. And there's not much left of it that we can just drop it and let it roll. Like I said, there's more ability and more happiness and more celebrations coming in the future. So the Crone of Fire is basically closing the book on the past. That's a nice end row card. So on top of the Five of Cups, what do we get there? We get the Ace of Air, divine guidance. Again, there's your intuition. There's your spiritual way. I feel like they're connecting to you to guide you, but not to lay out the roadmap. They're just going to send you out into the roadway with no map. Because if we see the map, we're going to say, no, I don't want to go left here. I want to go right there. I want to go up there. And no, I can't go. It's too much control here. That may be the authority card coming from behind here. We may have fallen in love with someone strictly out of beauty. They may have taken us for our finances. We may not have listened to our instinct at all. So I feel like our instinct is coming down again. It was there before. We never recognized it. Are we recognizing it now? The universe is trying to make that connection. There's some it may not be in their belief system, so they will not. But nonetheless, they're going to head toward a trajectory that the universe wants them to go. And it is for their highest good. So it's for your best ability. Again, divine guidance may be coming in the form of dreams. You may be having dreams that are clarifying, or dreams that are reinforcing, or dreams that are putting you in a position where you feel better about the decisions that you make in an intuitive way. not realizing it's intuitive. They're just going, oh, I had a dream. Maybe I should follow the way the dream goes. Yeah, try that. See what happens. So as we move into the future, the energies here from the universal, talking about irresistibility, mental conflict, art card, which is basically the temperance. Again, alternatives, going down a new path to find love. We get the hangman. Oh, wow. Talking about the circle. So that's 12. The circle. And this is taking the power of all of the elements here. It says boundaries. Feeling safe and having boundaries. This, I feel, give me a moment here. Safe circle, I feel, is, wanting or seeing the ability in someone else to give in equal balance and not just take from us or not take advantage of us to a degree that we're not willing to give back, this kind of thing. And the boundaries, I feel, are kind of connected to this Seven of Swords card. Because that's the boundary. I'm going to make sure that nobody does this again. I feel that highly. It's heavy here. Nobody's going to ever do that to me again. Ever. Now, it could be to the degree that we don't want to ever be in another relationship. That could be. And the universe is going, no, that's not what's going to happen. You're going to be in a relationship. Because they really do want to put you together with someone of harmony, that you can create harmony. But if we don't have harmony within ourselves, we can't create it in a relationship. And I feel like that's part of the problem here. I feel like we got to create harmony within ourselves in order to accept it outside of us. And we may not understand fully what we're willing to accept in that way. Again, I just get highly guided. You may think you're going down this road, but the universe is going to put you in line with something. It's going to throw you off into a third lane here, where we only thought we could go left or right, and there's down the center. And that's really that's all I could tell you there, because I don't know what that incorporates. It's going to be different for different people. So as we go into the fortune card, let's see what we have for the masculine. The plane card, a journey is indicated either physically or metaphorically. Your life will become more full. And that's ultimately what they want for the masculine, right? So if we're taking charge of our finances, we could be at a point here where we saved a lot of money and we're going to take a trip and reward ourselves in that manner. And things can happen on this trip that can be life-changing. People can meet, and where you once thought, I ain't ever getting married again, or I ain't ever falling in love again, or I ain't, and then suddenly this happens, right? And I'll tell you, the universe can work in weird ways. So let's bring it back here. So yeah, there's a trip in store for the masculine, and this journey, again, it can be metaphorically. It can be in your mind, where a lot of stuff changes, where you take flight in your mind, where suddenly options open up where they were not there before, or you did not see them, or from that aspect you did not understand. Now, if we get the masculine and the feminine cards together here, we have the angel and the plane, and both of them are lifting from the ocean, going into the sky, which is very significant. Meaning, this grounded earth, for those, okay, this is going to be hard to express, but I'm going to try nonetheless. For those people that are grounded on the earth, caught up in the rat race and doing the whole that thing, their whole physical world is going to change to a degree that they're going to be more in tune with other things in balance. So if you're someone who's caught in the rat race, you don't look to your intuition, you don't have time to think about much, you just do, take action, your life is going to significantly change to the other side of things in order to create more balance, or at least expose you to the other side of things so that you yourself can create that balance. That's what I feel is happening to both the masculine and feminine. Now give me a moment here. I'm going to tap into the masculine alone. Because they're very, very, man, like I wouldn't have picked these two cards, but now that I'm looking at them, it's very in sync with the energy. Give me a moment. Really what I'm getting from the masculine here is that they will take flight. Whether if you were someone who took a lot of action in the 3D earth, on the earth plane here, and you're a mover and a shaker, you're going to have more time in your life at this time to use your mind, and your physical life will slow down or change to a degree where you have more mental time. This is not a choice. You can't say no to this. It will be in your path. You will just have more time to deal with things up in your head, logic, this kind of thing. And if it's the other way, then you'll gain the other way. If you're a person that was always in your head at planning, scheduling, then you're going to be in the physical earth making actions and doing things. Okay, so that's the plane. Now as we get into the angel side with the feminine, I feel like there's a sense of needing peace within the self, right? More than the masculine. I think the masculine can gain it if he stops long enough, stops physically working long enough, he can gain peace. He just chooses not to, and this is what, right? And it's all about the money. The money rules the show. So there's got to be some kind of balance there. And their life is going to, something is going to represent this balance. Like I say, you know, when people, they overwork themselves, they get sick. And that's the universe saying, slow down, or I'll slow you down, right? And the body does. It's not the universe's way, it's the body's way of saying, slow down. And if you don't listen to that, you get sicker, and then you get diseases, and then you go, you know, you advance through that. It just keeps going. So these are moments of clarity where you can reshape things. And I feel like that's what's happening for the masculine. There's moments of clarity here to design what you want that money to flow like, what you want. You do not have to work nonstop with no life. You've got to create a balance, because you're just never going to be happy no matter. If you have a beautiful wife or not, you're not going to be happy. Okay, now as we move on to the angel, the peace, right? The inner peace and the connectedness is more intrinsic. It's more spiritual. The masculine is dealing on the physical, the feminine's dealing on the spiritual, and they're trying to create that bridge between what is my peace, and then I'm trying to find my peace in the physical world, right? Where the masculine, some of them have it, some of them may be a little confused as to what creates that for them, and they may be figuring that out. But for the feminine, they're trying to gain that peace on the physical plane. They're trying to gain it spiritually and then go forward to gain it physically. And I feel like for them right now, I think we're in transition here where we're trying to gain in our mind and our spiritual selves what makes me happy, and then they're going to go out universally and try and make that happen. I feel like for some, they are in the mode of doing this. They're going to, okay, I'm going to take action in the spiritual realm. And they may not have found quite the niche yet, but they're on their way to do that. And again, they got the inner peace. So now they're going outward in the physical universe, trying to gain that peace in a work front, or what you do on a daily basis, or how you do on a daily basis, right? Whether it's family that you're dealing with, job, what have you, right? Okay, so the angel, your angels are guiding you and protecting you on your spiritual journey. I feel like the feminine side is highly aware of this. The plane, a journey is indicated either physically or metaphorically, and your life will become more full. Why? Because it will become more balanced inadvertently without even your effort, because the universe is just going to pop you into that energy field. As long as you're not in resistance. If you're in resistance, things will be going awry all over the place. But I think if you are starting to feel safe where you're at, and you're starting to create boundaries between you and others, and I'm strictly for the masculine on this side, I feel like we're trying to tap you into your universal field. We're really, this is going to feel so unnerving to follow that. But once we do, there'll be huge leaps and bounds that we make. We're closing the book on our past and the way we dealt and the way people dealt with us. We're not allowing that to happen anymore. So this is good. And that's that plane getting us over what? The boundaries. We're setting boundaries. We will not allow other people to treat us in this way anymore. And for the feminines, they're, internally, they're figuring things out and gaining peace. And they're trying to go outward in their physical world to create that peace in whatever way they can at this time. They're kind of dabbling is what I see. Putting their toes in different pools to see what is it that I want. And for some, it may be on the work front. It may be career. I might have to dip into those readings. Where they're trying to find their place, Where do I feel comfortable? What do I want to do for the rest of my life? This kind of thing. So there they are, masculine and feminine energies. I will do a quick, short, and to the point energy report here coming up. And then I will start with my spirituality readings when I put the commercial out. It will all be on Rumble. So have a check over there. Again, sorry for the acoustics. Can't be helped. I'm in a different physical area. So at this time, I'm absorbing the time that I have to just focus on this and put these out. So again, guys, thank you for following me. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Sharing even would be great and wonderful. We will talk to you soon. And over the summer here, there should be some interesting transitions happening. It's just the beginning phases, so I'm glad that I'm here. So I'm glad that I'm here to share it with you. Yeah, the universe puts us in a position where we can get things done. So take care, guys. Have fun and be kind. And we will talk to you soon. That's the masculine and feminine report.